These are my Zootopia minifigures, and this is my Lego-fied Zootopia city. And today I'm going into the city to build minifigures of all the characters from the movie. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, I'm going to recreate a bunch of scenes from the movie. Anyways, Lego. Now, if you've been living under a rock, let me explain what Zootopia is. Basically, it's a Disney movie about this giant city where different types of animals live and work together. Like Judy, Nick, Mr. Big, and even this super slow sloth named Flash. Now, Lego hasn't made any Zootopia sets, so I had to go to the Lego store and get this city tower. So before we build our characters, I need to build the city that we're gonna put them in. And don't worry, we're gonna build as fast as Flash. And here's the full Zootopia city. It has police, fire, construction, skate park, monorail, rocket ships, and everything you'd need in a city like Zootopia. But we don't need these real people minifigures, so they're all gonna go bye-bye, and we're gonna replace them with anthropomorphic animals. The first character I want to make is Officer Judy Hopps. She's the main character of the movie, and Lego hasn't made a version of her. But they have made another bunny, specifically this one. We're gonna use him as the base. He has toes, a nice torso, and a head, but Judy Hopps has her cop uniform, so we're gonna need to find one of those. And for this, we're gonna use my minifig part organizer. And the first thing we're gonna need is a blue cop outfit. Yeah, that'll do. And then we're gonna also need short legs that are black. Okay, that'll cut it. All right, firstly the torso, then the head, then we're going to do the pants. All right, now the only thing I wanna switch out is the hands, because I don't want her to just have black hands, so we'll throw these here, and then get some white ones. And then we'll leave the carrot, because, you know, what's up, dog? She also used a carrot pen to record Nick Wilde. And you know what? The set even comes with a little police station, and of course the cop car. So we'll give that to Miss Judy Hopps. And that's our first custom minifigure. Next I need to build Nick Wilde, who's an anthropomorphic fox and kind of a scam artist. And the only decent anthropomorphic fox base that Lego's ever made is this one of Robin Hood. Which is funny because Robin Hood also kind of steals. Anyways, we're going to take off his accessories, and then we're going to start using the part. I also need to go back to the minifig sorter because we need a new pair of legs. We need him to be a little taller than Judy. And then in terms of shirts, I think this will do perfect. This is from one of the Friends Lego sets. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is place down the pants, torso. We gotta detach the arms here. They're useful. Bada boom. And we gotta need the head, and we're gonna need the tail. The rest of him can go away. All right, tail here, torso here, and then we gotta take the arms. Ah, that looks pretty good. Now where it's gonna get questionable, honestly, is with the head. We could take off this, but it's not perfect, to be honest with you. And that's because of this silly hat right here. Because obviously Nick Wilde doesn't really wear a hat, but I guess we could say he does. And the issue is, he's still technically shorter than Judy because, you know, Bugs Bunny has really tall ears, which is why I considered giving Judy the Lola head, but it just, the colors don't work well at all. Now I'm giving Nick the little accessory of the popsicles that he sold, and that's why the next character we're gonna build is Finnick. He's part of Nick's giant scheme to scam people into buying popsicles, and he dresses up in this little elephant costume, and we gotta build it. And for his base, we're going to use this minifigure of Wile E. Coyote. And these are gonna be the pants like this, and a shirt like this, but maybe we'll give him a costume option. All right, we have the legs. We're gonna take this off of Wile E. Coyote and give him a tail. Then he's gonna get a torso, and then he's gonna get a head. You know, I know there are scenes where he wears a black shirt, but honestly, I don't like it on him. I like him in the little elephant costume. So I found this little Lego Labubu. And we're just gonna use his tail and his torso, and then we're gonna steal the head again. And boom, there's something that resembles Finnick. Now I just need to make his iconic Jumbo Pop. So I went to my collection, got the parts, snapped them together, and put them in his hand. Yo, this thing's literally massive. Oh wait, I need to steal one more thing over here. We need this. Alright, so now we have him in his push stroller with his giant ice pop, and we're gonna need Nick to come in and hold him down, because, you know, he's a little top heavy.
Ha! I make $200 a day, Fluff. 365 days a year since I was 12.
Nicholas Wilde, you are under arrest.
For what? Hurting your feelings?
Felony tax evasion. Yeah, $200 a day, 365 days a year. Since you were 12, that's 2 decades, so times 20, which is 1,460,000, I think. I mean, I am just a dumb bunny, but we are good at multiplying.
She hustled you good! You a cop now, Nick.
Now, there are also a lot of other important characters from Zootopia, like Flash.
Flash, 100-yard dash. Buddy, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
And since LEGO hasn't made any really good sloth heads, I decided to use my computer to make one and then print it out. And I just had to get cutting the right one. Then I had to go to my minifigure part selection, pick out a torso, gray head, and legs, snap them together, and then add the face print that I printed out. Oh yeah, and give him a mug. Oh yeah, and since he's a sloth, he's gonna need some claws. Cause you know, look at bro's fingernails. And we just put him in his seat while he works really, really slowly. Oh, and I also wanna build his girlfriend who I got more parts for, like these brown legs, pink shirt, and gray head. And we have to snap her together too, with the legs, the torso, and the head. Oh yeah, she's gonna need new hands. Oh, and she could get an office mug and claws too. How you doing, Priscilla? Good. All right, now we just gotta give her her own desk.
Flash, 100-yard dash. What do you call a 3-humped camel?
I don't know. What do you call 3-humped camel?
Pregnant.
All right, so I'm putting Priscilla and Flash on this level of the city. And don't worry, by the end of this video, the rest of the city will be filled. Now, for us to have a city, we're gonna need a leader. And who better than Mayor Lionheart, the totally not corrupt official. Now, Mayor Lionheart's famous for his suit, tie, and wolfy appearance. And I got a base minifigure that covers the suit and the pants and tie. So we're just gonna need to take off his hair and then use someone like this. Oh shoot, that actually looks pretty good for Mayor Lionheart. But the beast doesn't look exactly like a lion, but you know who does? The lion from The Wizard of Oz.
Put him up, put him up!
Alright, well, we're gonna take off this piece and this piece. Then we're gonna try taking this off all together. And let's see if this works. Alright, that's pretty good. Now I'm just gonna take off his hands, because you know, he doesn't need those. And we're gonna put in some brown ones for lion-y hands, you know? The last thing I need to do is attach a tail, and that's really easy, because, you know, we got one right over here. Bada boom! But now that we have a mayor, he's gonna need an assistant. And his assistant is the totally not suspicious Dawn Bellwether. And I know exactly what I'm gonna use as her base. That's right, Carl from Up. Wait, what? So I'm gonna take off his head, and the cane, and then use these legs because they match her height. Then we're gonna give her Mrs. Krabappel's skirt from The Simpsons, as well as her torso. And I guess it would make sense to give her the hands as well. And then we're gonna put Carl's head back on. You might say, that doesn't look like her. And you're right, so we're losing the hair. But you know whose hair kind of does look like hers? Another old man Disney character, Geppetto. And we're just gonna put that on. Maybe we get a happier face or something. Because Carl already has the big glasses. And I guess this is gonna be her. But animals aren't the easiest to do in Lego. So there we go. Now hopefully she doesn't just throw Mayor Lionheart onto the bus or anything. Or you know, on the monorail. Anyway, a city this big can't just have Judy as a police officer. So we're gonna need some more. And the first cop I need to make is the chief cop, Chief Bogo. And I'm gonna use Captain America to do it. You might be wondering why, because he's huge and he's dark blue. And the first thing I'm gonna do is pop off his head. And now I need to make a head that looks more like Chief Bogo. And since LEGO really hasn't done any RAM builds, I have to do my own. And after going through my part collection, these are some parts I found that I think we can make something with. Alright, so let's do this. First thing I wanna attach is the eyes. And the ram horns. Alright, so we have a mouth here. I just need to figure out how to properly do this. Alright, well we need a Technic pen, because that'll be what holds it in. And then we need the nose, then we need this piece, then we need this. Bada boom. Alright, there's Chief Bogo's head. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Now we just gotta make him a fist-fighting cop. Yo, Now we could put him in front of the police station, but there's still some more police officers I want to make. Like the funny and chunky Officer Clawhauser, who's some type of tiger. And for her base, I'm using Chip from the Disney minifigure series. And all I have to do is I'm just going to take a cop and, strip him.
Bruh.
And then we're going to put in this torso, the head, and we're going to take off the hands. And we need to put Chip's hands on. Yeah, she's missing donuts. Actually, she's missing a whole lot of them. This looks okay. He's like a receptionist and dispatcher for the police. And if he had a black nose, it would have been more perfect, but don't worry, we're going to be using that later. So we'll add him to the police force. But there's one more big cop I want to add, and that's Officer McHorn. He's this giant rhino guy. And guess whose head I'm taking again? And then lucky for me, I already have a pre-built rhino head that I made a little bit earlier. And I think I'll be able to just, stick it in here. And now you have Officer McHorn. I gotta tell you right now, I would not mess with this police department. I mean, bro, that guy's beefy. Now, this next character is my favorite because he's the chief mafia boss of all of Zootopia. And it is, of course, Mr. Big. He does Judy a favor because he saved her daughter's life and they asked on her wedding day. And now I need to build him as a Lego. But before we even build him, I want to add his chair into this level in the city. Because if you wrong him, you can get flung out on this side or sent out the window on this side. Now for the base of this figure, we're going to use my boy Don Corleone. And then we're just going to swap out his legs for these little ones. And then we're going to take off his head and replace it with chips. Because this is the closest thing we had to a rodent that was darker. Now we just need to put him in his chair. Ah, look at him.
You disrespected me. You disrespected my grandmama, who I buried in that skunk butt rug.
Oh yeah, and I also wanted to make his daughter, so I got this accurate sized chipmunk. Oh yeah, and we gotta give her a hairdo, like that. Boom. Accurate chipmunk sized Miss Frou Frou. That's his daughter's name. His daughter's name is Frou Frou. Bro, I love this guy. He's my favorite character. I love him. The next character I want to make is kind of weird and sketchy. And his name is Yax. And he's weird and sketchy because he doesn't wear any pants. Like everyone else in Zootopia. They all wear pants and he doesn't. Anyways, I took the torso and the head from the lion from earlier. And then we're putting it with the beast. And he's probably like one of the only minifigure heads that actually has horns on him. So this actually works pretty well for him. So he can sit on the roof and, meditate and do whatever he does in his weird habitat. And the last character I want to make, I'm putting on the monorail. And this character reminds me a lot of Lola Bunny. And it is Gazelle. I mean, the torso, the legs, and the tail are pretty close. The head isn't perfect because, there are no horn-headed minifigure heads. But she should have a little bit of, cloth around her since she always wears these nice outfits. And then the last thing she'll need is a microphone. And I think that's one right over there. Oh, boom. Boom, got it. And she sings... Yeah, I'm not singing it. Alright, and that is every Zootopia character from Zootopia 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that way we can do Zootopia 2. Anyways, God bless, and stay awesome.